makes policing twice as hard.
That's a good point.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if our future Einstein is in there, but a lot of people with Einstein's hair are absolutely in there. No question.
Last word before we move on.
No, I was just going to say that the state of Virginia made sodomy illegal in 2003, and I'm just glad that he's not running on that issue. Then we'd have to clean the Capitol steps like a carnival pirate ship.
It would be more entertaining, though, that's for sure. From funny aromas to useless diplomas. Well, some graduating students are protesting the cost of college at commencement by using their hats to show the cash that they owe. The movement known as Occupy Graduation aims to bring attention to rising student loan debt, which has hit $1 trillion nationally. It's a lot of money. And it was started by Occupy backers, Workhorse PR. I was thinking of a joke. Along with Ben Cohen of Ben & Jerry's, who agreed to provide inflatable ball and chains to campuses nationwide. As for some of the movement's demands, they include zero-interest student loans, private colleges must reveal how their tuition dollars are being allocated, and cafeterias must pipe in Dave Matthews throughout the speaker system. That's to induce vomiting, keep the kids slim. Meanwhile, are co-eds really getting enough bookish bang for their buck? According to a new study, in 50 years, the amount of college time students actually spent studying has gone from 24 hours a week to a measly 15. So what are they doing with all their free time? We have tape. That is useful. Jesse, isn't protesting loans that you voluntarily took a wee bit hypocritical? And I use the word we strongly.
Because you are we.
I am.
No, I agree. Like, I mean, I agree. I think everybody knows, like, college tuition's outrageous. But at the same time, like, I think that I would support this more if they were doing it at freshman orientation. Like, they already got their education. It's like going to Red Lobster, and as soon as the bill comes, being like pulling out a Sharpie and a protest sign and be like, this is the Occupy Seafood movement. This is...
There you go, sneak in an S word. I think we have another question for you, Jesse.
Great.
Jesse, my daughter says you asked her to a Slipknot concert. You realize she's 15? Just because you're her manager at Piercing Pagoda doesn't make it right.
How much more programming time do we have to put in there so he'd itch his head?
I know.
They brought a lot to the table.
You know, it was a thoughtful thing. Brooke,
If that guy's having trouble raising his kids, like, maybe he should, like, he has a lice issue or something. It's a bigger issue than me volunteering to take her to a Slipknot
Jesse,
concert.
you're insulting a fictional character. That is not real.
What?
Yes.
Never mind.
Brooke, do you sympathize with these brats, or should they just suck it up and live with the debt like the rest of us did?
Okay, I'm gonna get a lot of heat on this one, and no matter how you feel about the Occupy movement, and I know we all just shudder, but we have to admit we have a major problem in this country.
I agree.
The average tuition at a public school is $60,000.
Yeah.
The average income of a college graduate after tax is $42,000. How are we creating productive members of our society? Do we really want, student loan to be their number one concern when we graduate? We have to solve this problem. How? I don't know.
I think, this is the root issue, and the thing is, because student loans, I guess, Andrew, were so easy to get, they gave them to everybody. That allowed the colleges to just charge incredible tuitions. And then at the end of the 4-year thing, you got all these guys with outstanding loans, and too many of them. And now they're complaining. The fact is, if you made it harder to go to college, the tuition would go down.
Well, here's the trick. There's no such thing as a free college education.
Yep.
Somebody has to pay for it. So it should be the guy who gets the education. I mean, that's the way it works. You pay for it, you get it.
Yeah.
If you go to
Unless you're an athlete.
Unless you're an athlete, of course, then you go and they just give you everything. But this is why Occupy drives me crazy. I hate these people. It's the downfall of the left. I mean, to be an out of work, dirty, unwashed left-wing dirtbag used to mean something in this country. You wanted to end the war.
You mean they fought for something? Now they're fighting for something that they should have paid for.
Give me money. Give me money. And somebody has to pay for this. And if you go to college and you can't get a job good enough to pay back your loan, guess what? You got screwed. Your college education wasn't worth what you paid for.
You know what college education is like? It's like breast implants. You buy them on layaway, and if you can't pay for them, no one's going to come and take it out. Right?
My college education was just like breast implants. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I actually, ironically, majored in breast implants in college, so that works out for everybody.
Bill, earlier you were occupying a bong. Has the word occupy jumped the shark much like the actual phrase jump the shark has?
Yes, now it's nuking the refrigerator. Thanks to Mr. Lucas. Not as a callback. You ruined the Indiana Jones franchise. It's very easy for you old fuddy-duddies to complain that these kids are complaining when you think about what you guys were paying when you were their age. Comparable to inflation, it is wildly different. And
But they know that. They know that.
They
though.
know that, but also let's compare it to getting a loan for a house. That's frivolous. No one needs to own a house. It's not a God-given right. You can rent. Most of New York does, and we don't like it. But college, if you really want to get a decent job in this country, and I know it's horrible to say that maybe not everyone is meant for a McDonald's job, but if you really want, you need a college degree, and it is 10 times more expensive to get it now.
But
We have so many
That's not
more
their fault.
colleges in this country than there are in any other country in the world. And if you want a college degree, you're going to get one. It's just how good your college degree
DeVry
is
doesn't
going
take
to
you
be.
places, trust me.
Oh, how dare you insult DeVry?
I just did.
I would have to say that I agree with my friend Bill, who happens to be dressed like a Dutch teacup this evening.
That was the metaphor I was reaching. I couldn't find it.
You go like this.
No, because like they had a thing about disclosing private schools, like what
Yeah.
they actually spent. Because I went to a
idea.
private school. I went to Duquesne University in Pittsburgh. And it's a good school. However, in my senior year, they
What's the
literally
name of it?
Duquesne University. You've never
Okay.
heard of it? It's
No,
it's
never
a
heard of it.
legitimate.
He heard
I went to a real college. Sorry.
But we both
He went
ended
to
up in the
Berkeley.
same place.
The
Look what
point
you did.
is, they spent $180,000 my senior year on a salad bar.
Wow.
Really, and it's super nice. Just that salad. It doesn't. That's all it does. And like, for $180,000, you can buy a nice house and fill it with lettuce. Is
Yeah.
my point, you know?
That is true.
Or 5 Filipino kids in a salad shooter, and that is far more entertaining at lunchtime.
That is disgusting.
But it's a factual. I did the crunch the
know
numbers.
Jesse has a very good point though, because you can get a good education at a cheaper place, much like he got a good haircut at Flat Top Planet because Fantastic Sam's is too expensive.
It's true.
Yes.
What you did.
All right. From grads to gripes, should you pay Mo to sit with your bro? Well, some U.S. airlines have begun charging couples and families additional fees to guarantee seats next to each other. So now on Delta, American, Frontier, and United, if you want to sit next to a spouse, child, or friend, it's going to cost you an extra $25 or more, said one ticked-off traveler. Quote, "Who wants to fly like this? It gets more ridiculous every year." That's what you call a quote. You had an outrageous and rhetorical question. Meanwhile, Fat Cat prefers to drive. This is just going to encourage more people to have their cats get fat, because I know if they send the video to us, we're going to play it because we love the fat cats. It's a cycle of death, really, Brooke. For some people, Brooke, isn't sitting apart from your spouse a treat?
Yes, maybe spouse, but this is about separating parents from their children. I mean, I question, how is this even legal?
Yeah.
Right? This is
That's a
extortion.
good point.
One of the quotes in the article that you gave us was from a woman who was asked to pay money to sit next to her 4-year-old child.
That's incredible.
How is that legal? Are there not laws against, letting underage children loose in an airplane? This
I
is
hope so.
extortion. It's insane.
Yeah, but how is that a big deal? I mean, well, look at the amount of size of a plane. Having the 4-year-old over there is like the equivalent of you being on a couch in the living room and your kid being over in the other corner by the TV. You know where they are. Come on. These
No, but it's
kids
for the
are coddled.
passengers that
These
are
kids
stuck
are
with the
coddled.
kid, and the kid is acting crazy. Crazy. Andrew, what do you think?
Oh, come on. Flying at this point, you get on, they take a picture of your naked butt.
Oh, I love that.
They stick their hand up your crotch, and then they rip your wife and children out of your arms. They're going to have to pay me to fly, and then I'm going to charge them for my luggage. You know? Yeah.
Last word, Jesse? Before I humiliate you.
I think that Bill looks like my grandmother's wallpaper.
I did pattern it out.
But as an awkward giant, you can't sit anywhere on a plane, right?
Touche, yes. No, I had a dude, I flew back from Edmonton, Canada yesterday.
Bragger.
And there was a guy, there was a dude, he pimped his 5-year-old into asking me if I would switch seats.
Oh.
And he totally knew what he was doing. Like, he must have coached the kid or
Yeah.
whatever, because he was adorable. And the kid came up with like a teddy bear, and he said,
Oh,
"Mine,
nice.
sir." And then I had to look at the dad, and the dad was like, "What are you gonna do about it?"
Yeah.
It was.
You should have said, only if your kid was attractive. Sorry.
I only let sexy kids sit next to me.
I think we have another question for you, Jesse.
Hey Jesse, I'll take 3 Motley Crue t-shirts. And can you throw in a Misfits wallet and a Marilyn Manson keychain? I'll put it on my Hot Topic gift card.
Bet you've heard that before.
Sure.
All
Absolutely.
right.
Two-dimensional Dana Vachon. Excellent.
So, what's Anthony Michael Hall really like? Jesse Joyce discusses his experience as a 16-candle stunt double and how it continues to influence his fashion to this day.
Yeah.
We're really hammering this into the ground. But first, can you be fired for being too hot? Sure, why not? I'm submitting that one for the Tease Hall of Fame.